some movie stars. You know, old Fingers is a bit of a celebrity himself.
And why is that?
Home is an ocean. Home is a cauldron, a spittoon. 1,000 ants crawling the kitchen walls. Cars slowing down, crunching the accident glass. Tattoos squirming up your skin. Home is a gasp. Home is a collapse. The women of now hiking up their skirts. Home is a shotgun waiting. Home is the sink dripping. Night streets, that's home. Grumbling subways of New York. The rainbow mist at Big Sur. The Santa Monica Pier during a concert collapsing. It's all poetry. Rock and roll girls damp, grinding in the dripping electric light. Mexican cowboys beat up, staggering in 2 a.m. Denver bars. Poetry. Madmen clutching clippings of Manson and Oswald. 37-year-old unmarried women buying PBS videos. Greyhound metal boys shaping it in LA. It's all poetry. Morning rising, the mountains dying of footsteps, prayers unanswered like crumbs. It's a poem I tell. The way she moves, the tightness of her dress, her heels click, click, clicking on the wooden floor. Oh. Eyes staring down, eyes like knives, eyes jittery. Poems. 8 million lives locked in rooms, 3 pennies on a dresser, a human heart receiving. That's what a poem is. You know, 2 of my favorite poets. One is Rumi, who's this ancient Persian mystical poet who took all of his carnal desire and turned it into this beautiful spiritual poetry toward the thing that's running the show. And then the other one is Charles Bukowski, who was a Los Angeles street alcoholic. And between those 2 poles is where a poet tries to balance. And the other thing I think is that a poem is like a good joke. It short circuits your intellect and it reaches you in some place. It gets to you before you can think about it. Should we film this? Why not? How much more trouble can I get into in my life? So Sadie turns to Bernie, I don't know that. And she says, you know, they're cuddling, they're watching the Nature Channel. They've been married a long time. And Bernie says, you know, have you been faithful to me? And she looks him in the eye. She tries to find out if he really wants to hear the answer. And she says, well, I've been unfaithful 3 times. And Bernie says, 3 times? We've been married 60 years. That's not bad. Tell me. She says, okay. She says, do you remember when we were first married and you wanted to start a business and we didn't have any money? He says, yeah. She says, I did it with the banker. He says, it was for you and I love you. So, I don't know, maybe he didn't kiss like that, but so he said, and he wasn't really angry, he said, tell me about the second time. And she said, well, do you remember when you needed a heart operation and we didn't have enough money to cover the heart operation? He says, yeah. She says, I did it with the heart surgeon. He says, you saved my life. you wanted to be president of the temple and you needed 37 votes? Everybody's telling me I don't live in real life. Some people, mainly the people that have to support me while my soul is in this flesh, really get mad about it. You don't live in real life. So this is called a shadow lady appeared. This is where I like it. I'll meet you in the air, without these bodies, these bills, these machines ringing, under the ocean, dark and foundering. I'll hunt with you in a forest so green, and rest with you while flowers dance with songbirds and the twilight on fire. I'll burn with you in time collapsing, the chimes dangling in a scented wind. I'll hold your eyes in my palm like a light brown kitten. We'll be without bones, without skin, in a different world where walking is done only by the displaced. I discovered my death in a pond, in the butterflies of late cold autumn, flowing white beard, breasts, jaunty felt hat. My death limped and skipped and had a laugh like a long-time smoker. You. Yeah, you. I moved to corners, but wisps of him stay on my shoes, the knees of my pants. Always now, when I walk late at night on the stones, or stare at the mirror in the dark parks of crawling morning, he stays. He knows. He stays. My dad died when I was 4 years old. He was a man once, my father, before he was dust. And before that, some mother's son. Mother held him and made him smile, my father's smile, before he was dust. And he had a face, my father, with eyes that spoke to mine and smiled to me, and skin and hair and lips and hands and fingers maybe that sang the secret touch, the lullaby of war, life growing, my father's arms before the dust. Some say that the space between stars is empty, filled maybe with cold atoms, maybe filled with particles of foreign floating dust. But I can see babies somersaulting and friends' watery eyes. I see lakes between stars, loons flying slowly. Between stars, caterpillars swimming, and clamshells with bow ties dancing a waltz. Between stars, my ancestors meet for Shabbos and Thanksgiving. Shofars blow, and the breath of my grandfathers smells like sweet cigars. There's soft flesh between stars, and billions of shimmering fish. And the light between stars is jelly, and whoosh, when the reed flute prays, the notes float up between the stars, breathing like mist, like smoke. So thanks. The last one. Anyway, this is a lullaby for all of us. Go back to baby sleep, held and flying. We walk the plodding earth only for a time. Be brave. The sky is scary only to our eyes. The stars are butterflies, blazing turquoise in the fields of moonlight. And floating home, my arms, the length of light, will always find you. Be good to each other, and I'll see you at CBS. Thank you.
Hey, Will, it's Dad. I doubt you'll get this in time, but I've got a computer guy from school helping me here, and we need the password to get into Windows.
to get into Outlook.
We need the password to get into Outlook. It's not crabcake69. All right, bye.